Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into something truly revolutionary, AI filmmaking. We're going to show you how an entire cinematic short film can be created from scratch with just a laptop. That's it, a laptop and some seriously powerful AI.
All right, first up, just watch this. What you're seeing is a short film. It's about a hidden treasure deep in the Amazon jungle. But here's the kicker: every single shot, every frame, even the camera movements, all of it was created by an AI. No cameras, no actors.
Yeah, you heard that right. This whole world, I'm talking the mist you see in the jungle, the glow from that artifact, it all came from just a few lines of text typed into a laptop. Think about that. No camera crew, no flying to a remote location, no actors on set. Just words.
So, the big question is, how is this even possible? And that's exactly what we're here to do. We're going to walk you through the entire step-by-step process they used to make this thing, right from the spark of an idea to the finished film. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so here's the first big secret. It's not really about one single AI tool. The real magic is this thing called a master prompt. It's basically a super smart creative partner that automates, get this, like 80% of all the hard creative work. So you can think of this master prompt as your AI co-director. Seriously. You just throw a basic idea at it, and it starts asking you smart questions. It guides you. It helps you shape that vague concept into a real, structured plan. And this is a huge deal, you know? The most important skill is no longer technical know-how. It's just how clearly you can express your creative vision. It really boils down to 3 key jobs. First, it properly gets your story. It understands what you're trying to do. Second, it writes these super detailed prompts for your most important scenes. We'll call those hero shots. And then third, it creates a whole new set of prompts to actually bring those still images to life as video clips. All right, let's jump into phase 1. This is where we see how you go from a tiny little idea to a full-blown cinematic image that becomes the cornerstone for the entire film. Believe it or not, this whole thing started with just 2 lines. The creator literally fed ChatGPT this super simple concept. A young boy explores the Amazon, finds a cave, and there's a snake guarding a treasure. That's it. That was the entire starting point. Okay, and this is where things get really cool. The master prompt took that super simple idea and just ran with it. It generated this incredibly detailed prompt for the main character. I mean, look at this. It's specifying everything: his age, his messy hair, the lighting, the textures, even the aspect ratio for the shot. Wild. So you take that amazing prompt, you plug it into an AI image generator, and boom, you get a bunch of different options. Now the creator gets to be the director, picking the one shot that just feels right. It really changes the job, doesn't it? It's less about managing a huge crew and more about being a curator, having that sharp eye to find the perfect image out of all the possibilities. Okay, so you've got your main hero shots. Now it's time for phase 2. We need to flesh out the entire world of the film and build a visual blueprint. This is pretty brilliant. You feed those original hero shot prompts back into ChatGPT, and the master prompt basically becomes your personal cinematography department. It spits out 25 to 30 variations, suggesting all these different camera angles and perspectives. It builds this massive visual library in minutes, something that would normally take days of planning. So now you've got this huge library of images. What's next? Well, you organize them. You create a storyboard, which is basically the blueprint for your movie. And what's so fascinating to me is that even with all this futuristic tech, a classic old-school filmmaking tool like the storyboard is still absolutely crucial. It's that bridge between just random AI images and actual intentional storytelling. And this storyboard lays out the whole visual journey. You can see it here. It starts wide, showing us the jungle. Then it brings us in closer to the cave entrance. It follows our hero inside, builds the tension with the snake guardian, and then the big reveal of the glowing artifact. It's a classic narrative structure. All right, on to phase 3, and honestly, this is probably the most magical part of the whole process. We're going to see how these beautiful, but still images, are actually brought to life. This is where the real transformation kicks in. See, animation isn't just about making the picture move. It's about adding these dynamic layers, things like specific camera movements, a dolly or a crane shot. It's about controlling the rhythm and enhancing the whole atmosphere with stuff like moving mist or changes in the light. And how do they do it? Well, that master prompt gets to work again.
For every single image on the storyboard, it generates a specific set of animation instructions. You get a prompt just like this one, feed it into an AI video tool, and that tool animates the shot following those directions to a T. Okay, we're on the home stretch. The last big step is the final cinematic polish. This is where all those individual AI clips get pulled together, tweaked, and polished into a real film. What's interesting here is that the editing part, it looks a lot like traditional filmmaking. The AI generates all the raw footage, but it still takes a human editor to weave it all together. They're using tools we all know, like Premiere Pro, adding sound, music, and narration, to really build that emotion. It's this incredible hybrid approach, right? You get the massive scale of AI combined with the subtle touch of human creativity. So, we've walked through the whole process. What does it all mean? What's the big takeaway for the future of filmmaking, for storytelling itself? I think the single biggest thing to take away from this is that the barrier to entry for creating high-quality, cinematic stuff has just been shattered. It's not about having a huge budget or expensive cameras anymore. The main limitation now, it's just your own imagination and how well you can describe your vision in a prompt. This is a total game changer. It empowers this whole new wave of creators, people who had amazing ideas but just never had the resources to make them happen. And that leaves us with one final and, I think, really exciting question to chew on. Now that pretty much anyone can be a filmmaker, what new stories are we going to see? That's all for this explainer.